the camera, I'd never made a vlog before, I have a hat on, I'm like devastated, and I'm crying, and then suddenly people were like, who's this guy? Why did he get suspended? So people were making videos about it, people who I didn't know were calling Dick Clark Productions, being like, this guy makes videos, he loves So You Think You Can Dance, why would you pull this video for copyright? And so in that moment, in 2007, and I had 8,000 subscribers at the time, which was a lot, and I remember thinking, how are these 8,000 people gonna find me again? There was no Twitter, there was no Facebook. I mean, literally, watch the video I'm devastated. I thought my life was over. So that's the moment I realized it was big, because there were all these strangers who were making all these efforts to support me, and yeah, so that probably, 2007, that spring. And then I was featured that summer, and that's when it all went crazy, and yeah. I'm sorry. We'll talk after. I'm giving him so weird if you're scared.
Love you, man.
I just want a hug. I'm here for the hugs. Oh.
We have this thing. I have this thing. I call it my hug bucket.
I'm your hug buck. What?
So you and in your life you accumulate hugs. And you put them in your hug bucket.
Oh, I love that. I got a lot of hugs today.
And this is like the biggest boost to hug buckets of all time.
My bucket overfloweth. That's what she said. Yes, I have a bad... Did you hear Margaret last night? Nova puts the Nova and Lisa. It was bad. Margaret, you hear?
So, you have a really great community. And they're really active. Sort of, how do you picture them in your head when you're writing?
Oh my God, that's a really good question. That's a nice question. How do I picture the people watching in my head? That's such it's funny because I know they're young. YouTube Insight is a great statistic. If you can log into your YouTube and you can see, my audience is really 70% female and very large 13 to 17-year-old girls. So I mean, of course I have to take that into account. And I do hear from people who are older and they're like, I like watching, and I love when I meet adults. Literally in the meet and greet line, there were, all kids, and then I'd meet like two adults, I'd be like, oh, hi. We're probably the same age, So I always think, I just want to amuse them. I always think that, but also it's weird because sometimes I'll be talking about Miley Cyrus and I'll think, yesterday I called her a skank. Today I'm thinking, oh, I like her song, so I don't want to, so there's so much that goes through my brain when I'm filming. There is a lot. But I always think, make them laugh. If I can make them laugh by hating Miley Cyrus that day, that's what I'll do. If I can make them laugh by, oh my God, this 35-year-old guy thinks Miley Cyrus is so funny. Whatever I can do that day in that moment to make the audience laugh and enjoy the video, that's my thought. There's a lot of thought, it's crazy.
Yeah, you would be surprised how much we think about these things.
So much thought. There's so much thought that goes into every single video and every single script that I write. And I edit it and I cut it and I torment over it. And the other day there was an end joke. I shot the entire thing, one take. I didn't like the end joke. Had to refilm the entire thing because I didn't like ba-dum-bum, what the bok. I mean, literally, I take it that seriously. I'm crazy. And nobody would care. People would be like, that's fine, Buck, we don't care. I care very much. I take it very seriously. I want each video to be very good because I always think this is the first impression. This is the first time, even though there's thousands of people who watch every day, you may be seeing me for the first time and I would like you to enjoy the video. So that goes into the thought too. So that's why even though inside jokes are good and things like that are good a little bit, but it's like going to a community theater production and they bring out an inside joke and you're like, what the hell's this? So I'm rambling now. But whenever I go to community theater they do an inside joke, I'm like, I just want to see Annie. I don't care about your principal. Inside jokes. So inside jokes are cute and your general audience likes that, but that every video shouldn't be an inside joke because then it's like you're alienating a potential new audience. And now I'm off topic, but general advice for people.
That is awesome. Yeah. We have a lot of inside jokes.
Well, inside jokes are great, and they're great,
Yeah, it's hard to break in. It's hard to break in.
Right, because then you feel like, oh, they've already got an audience, or they're already in on something and I'm not. And they all know what that catchphrase means, and so that's why I try to, every few months, explain things like, oh, if you're wondering why I'm saying I'm a social or whatever, I had to have it, where does that come from? I've been saying it for 4 years. Whatever.
I don't even know where I had it.
I had to have it as a joke. Does anybody know what it means? Anybody? What does it mean? Yes, thank you. I did. There was a Sarah Jessica Parker commercial and she was, it was perfume and she walked up to the window and she was like, I have to have it. And she looked like a crazy person. So I reported on it and I said it crazy and the crowd loved it and I loved it and now it's a catchphrase. So I had to have it.
We will end on that.
Well, thank you for being here. Thank you so much. Thank you. I hope to see you all afterwards. Let's hang out.